So today I'm going to show you something crazy, something you've probably never seen before. This will be a green iguana laying some eggs, and that's right. I talked about when I weighed Charlie that she is very small, and I now know the gender of her, and she is a female. So check this out, and then I will explain. So this is my 3-year-old green iguana Charlie laying 2 eggs, even though she had already dug like a ton of spots to lay eggs in her bioactive substrate at the bottom of her massive enclosure. She decided to lay her eggs up on the basking area that I provide for her. So I think it's safe to say that Charles is female. Actually, that might be an egg back there. There's either 15 or 16 eggs. There's a couple, those are avocado seeds, but these are eggs. And for some reason, after all this digging everywhere, she laid them up here. And we actually kind of just figured that Charles was a female like earlier this week. It might have been not yesterday, it was the day before yesterday when I was weighing them. Because like Charles is like 3 years old, and this is a green iguana, and it's really small for 3 years old. So considering it's sexually mature, it's like tiny, but it might just be it's just a really small female, which is normal. Females are like, I think like 2 to 3 to like 7 pounds or something like that. So not huge for like a 20-pound male. So that's Charles, and now I have a bunch of eggs. These are 100% infertile. I don't even know if it's ever seen a male before, so, well, I mean, since I've had it, obviously, I haven't had any other iguanas here. So these are a bunch of infertile eggs. It looks like some are more like sluggish lakes. That's what they tend to call the ones that are really obviously not fertile. I think this one's kind of yellowish, but then some kind of look decent, but I don't know what iguana eggs are supposed to be like. This one looks like it has like some extra calcium on it, maybe, or something. Not perfect eggs. I believe this is their first clutch, so that makes sense. But you see, this egg looks more normal. It's so very squishy though. But I think this doesn't sound pretty weird, but I'm gonna leave most of them in here because, you know, the isopods will eat them. But I think I might feed one to Richard, because Richard is a bearded dragon, and I believe they can eat like chicken eggs or whatever. And when Pee-wee laid her eggs, which Pee-wee's huge red-eared slider female, I fed one to Richard just because I knew he'd eat it, and you know, that's like extra calcium and stuff, and it's kind of not wasteful. I don't know. I know it's weird, but it kind of just makes sense. So I think I'm gonna go feed one to Richard, but other than that, Charles is a female, which is great. I love that, because I really wanted a female green iguana because they stay way smaller and they're generally less aggressive. So basically I have a really small, I mean, Charles isn't, yeah. So, or I guess Charlie? Yeah, Charlie isn't super unaggressive, but compared to like an adult male, I don't have to worry about that huge size or whatever. So I'm gonna pick which egg is like the cleanest, and then I'll wash it off a bit, and I'll feed it to Richard. But that's really interesting. There's so many eggs, you're right. So yeah, there's 15 that I can see, but then I think that is one down there in the corner behind the stick, because that doesn't look like an avocado. As you can see, I put seeds in here sometimes just for fun, and this is an avocado seed. And they would grow up, but Charlie is always digging, so it's very interesting. I wasn't expecting this at all today. I literally like burst out laughing when I came in. She was literally sitting on a couple of eggs up here, and I've been working outside all day with doing turtle stuff and cleaning the chicken's pen and stuff, and I come in and there's just like, what is going on? Like, I had no idea. But that is insane. There's no reaction. I wasn't prepared for this. But I never expected to have, yeah. Okay then. Very interesting day. So this probably seems like the weirdest thing that I just fed one of the eggs to Richard here. Sorry for the lighting. And there you can see there's yolk on his face. Again, the window's in the background, sorry about that. But there's also some other stuff. I made a slurry because he hasn't been eating veggies like normal for some reason. So I made him like a veggie slurry, and he seemed to take that really well. But it got on the glass and I never cleaned it up. But he really went for the yolk, like he wouldn't just eat the egg. So I burst the egg a little bit, and then like once he saw the yolk, he went for it immediately, and he just ate the whole egg. And I don't know if that's a good thing. I mean, like I'd imagine that could possibly block his system, but it's not like it was hard or anything. It was soft. So I think I'm gonna take 2 more of the eggs and clean them off and then refrigerate them so then I can feed them, because I mean they're definitely infertile. There's nothing, that's not a question. And if they weren't, Charlie literally dropped them from her her basking area. So I figure if I can feed them to Richard, why not? So I think I am going to do that, but I don't want to, give him too much, because just, I don't know, you want to, I believe I think hot eggs are high in something, but I looked it up and I don't see anything saying like not to do this, but I'd imagine like bearded dragons will eat their own eggs sometimes. But I know like monitor lizards, a lot of people feed monitor lizards like snake eggs or stuff, like things like that, and I guess I wouldn't really see the difference with bearded dragons, so that's why I've done it. I've done it before with a turtle egg, but that turtle egg was like split way open, and also turtle eggs are smaller than green iguana eggs, so I don't know. I'll try it again, but it seems like Richard's pretty happy with what he did. So I mean, he started licking up the yolk and stuff once he had already eaten the egg part. So I'd imagine it's some extra calcium for him, and that would probably be a good thing. So I'm gonna go get the 2 green iguana eggs like I had said, and I'll feed those to Richard on a different day. So the total count was 18 eggs, which seems like a lot to me, but I'm not entirely sure. As for Richard and eating the eggs, I did end up feeding him 2 other eggs. I spaced out the times in which I fed it to him, and I refrigerated and cleaned them before I fed them to him, and I'm going to do a different video on that, I believe. So that should be pretty interesting. But yeah, Charlie is a female who lays eggs and digs holes and then lays eggs from her basking area. So she's not the brightest girl, but she's awesome. And ever since she did lay the eggs, she's been super defensive. And I'm not sure if that's because she like laid eggs and she's, like motherly defensive, or if she thinks she's vulnerable, or it's because I handled her a couple of times before she actually laid the eggs. So like I said, I had weighed her and I had handled her like once or twice in the weeks before that, which might seem like really spaced out, but that's like not very spaced out, because I've kept her for like 3 years and I've like not handled her at all, because I like to give her space. And I think I'm gonna do a video on that, because a lot of people like to like really force handle their animals. I feel like people think they need to handle their animals, or their animals need them to handle them, and I just don't really feel that's true, but it can be helpful. So I think I'm going to talk about that in a future video. But as for how Charlie is doing, she wasn't eating very much, and she was digging a ton before she laid the eggs, but now after she laid the eggs, she hasn't been digging as much, and she's been eating a ton. So that is awesome. I was really worried, and I don't know why I didn't think that maybe it was a female with eggs. It didn't occur to me whatsoever when she was going off food. But now she's been eating like crazy, and I've been giving her always a variety, but also we got hibiscus plants, and one of them's been flowering like crazy, so I've been giving her lots of hibiscus flowers, which I think is pretty cool. So Charlie's doing good, and the terrarium here isn't doing amazing. I think I'm going to do a video pretty soon. I noticed that one of her fingers is like kind of inflated a little bit, and I think she might have like ripped off her claw or something, but I need to handle her and look at it and figure that out. I think I might give her a beta iodine bath, or a providone iodine bath. It's the same thing, I believe, and it'd probably help her to get a bath. Also, I need to clean out her water. And then future renovations coming to her enclosure. I mean, it's functional now, just like all the other terrariums, but just like all the other terrariums, there's work that needs to be done that I can't really do right away. So hopefully that will happen pretty soon, and she'll also be moving outside at some point. I don't know if it's this summer or next summer, but I'm hoping I can get it done relatively soon. That's like the next project I'm working on, is an outside enclosure for her, and I don't know, I need to work on that. So hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like it down below. If you have any comments or concerns, in the comments below, and if for more content, then subscribe. Have a fantastic day.